Real Draft Monday. It is the Birdhouse After Dark. Welcome back to the Birdhouse Dynasty Show. And tonight's show, we're going to dive into a few of the contending teams that I have and show you where I'm at, thoughts wise, on each team. There's three of them. And so we're going to get into maybe I need something. Maybe at the end of the year, there was an injury to one of the main guys. And so I need to figure out a way to try and either get a rookie or a veteran to help replace that guy if he's not healthy anymore. So we'll check out that next. Just a reminder to hit the like and subscribe. Thursday night, we've got Wyatt from Roto Underworld as well as Dustin from DD Fantasy coming on, and we're going to do a live rookie draft with those guys, live mock draft, that is, and we're going to give you our thoughts on certain pockets where we're going to trade out in and out of and so forth. And so make sure you hit the little bell. You'll get your notification for that show coming up Thursday night. So lots to look forward to in the Birdhouse. But tonight we are going to dive into some live drafts, and we're going to start it out with my Birdhouse Best Ball Dynasty. And let's just go right into the draft room on this one. So let's bring it up right now for you. There we are. And so we're in the third round, just got to the beginning of the third round. We fired this one up yesterday, and so they've gone through 2 rounds. Little slow rolling at the beginning of the draft. Guy took Genty. He's a rebuilding team. Needed young players of any sort. Genty, of course, borderline elite, pretty much an elite prospect. And so, yeah, good pick there. Can't go anywhere else. Next up, we had Travis Hunter, Omarion Hampton, Cam Ward, Travion go in that order, and Tet right after him. So picks 2 through 6 were interesting because Hunter went at pick 2. The guy at 3 then, Fantasy Godzilla, who did a great job hopping up and down the board here. He took the, what was it, the 102 pick? No, that was in the Dynastyland draft. Here, though, he ended up with Hampton, and then let me see where his other. Yeah, he ended up with the 209. I actually didn't I make a deal? Not in this one. I moved up in the, yes, the third one we'll talk about tonight. But I just stayed back. I have a 4th rounder in this draft, and I'm going to end up with a lot of dart throws on the undrafted free agent wire. I probably got, I don't know, anywhere from 8 to 10 that I could toss back into the waiver pool and go after some rookies. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing some deep diving here in this best ball league. So, would it pay off for me to try and sell a vet to get a rookie here? And what type of rookie would that be? Would it be an elite rookie, picks 1 through 6? Would it be borderline elite, more likely just good player rookie, picks 107 through 111 or 201, depending on where you want to put the tight ends, I guess? Personally, I don't think either of them have an elite ceiling, put it that way. So, we had the Fantasy Godzilla going live with his pick. and he went Jaden Blue, Dallas Cowboy. Godzilla down there in Austin, wanting to stay in the state. Prior to that, he also grabbed Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee, who went to the Browns. Basically, Judkin's backup now, as they did not re-sign Nick Chubb, and it's looking like Jerome Ford is going to be relegated to some special teams work for the most part. He may start out week 1 getting some reps, but I don't know. I think this is going to be Judkins Sampson backfield, and it'll probably be like a 60-35 split ish, 5% going to Ford on the backside. So yeah, I like those 2 picks, as good as you're going to get in the 3rd round. I mean, at this point, I really don't love any of the receivers left. So yeah, I mean, we're already picking Pat Bryant here, for God's sakes, at pick 25. Yes, Pat Bryant. Oh my God. Dude, these receivers, I like throwing a dart at Trey Harris, okay? Maybe in the middle of the 2nd round somewhere, if that's where you can get him. But I had the choice to get him or Scadaboo earlier today at like the 204, and I went Scadaboo. So, and that's right after I took Jackson Dart, who I got at the 203. Let me show you that league. That is the Lemmy's Dynasty League, and we're going to bring those guys up here. Let's do this. So how are you guys doing out there? I mean, got any questions tonight for me? Who you want to draft? Who I should do some shorts on? What are your questions out there that you've got all day long wondering on? Maybe you've got an early first. Maybe you got a late first. Should you trade it? Should you just keep it and draft it? Okay, we're gonna go to Lemmy's Dynasty. Yes, into the draft room, and here we are. So Lemmy's Dynasty is a team that I had like 250 or 300 more points than anybody last year, and I was the 1 seed, and of course I lose in the semifinals. So yep, here I'm coming back off of a 3rd place season, beat up on Black Jesus in the 3rd round matchup. No, I don't remember what the score was, but because Black Jesus overall in this league's probably been the map to success. He's had Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes from the get-go. That year that Josh Allen blew up is the first year of this draft, and so yeah, he landed the Mahomes Josh Allen tandem at quarterback 1 and 2. He's simply just rode them, and the wheels won't fall off until Derrick Henry falls off there. So I don't know if he's going anywhere this year. He's going to still be in the top 4, for sure, I think. So yeah, like I said, I had the 203 and 210 entering the draft. I was just able to earlier today trade the 210 and 309 to move up here to the 204. So that was not a bad deal, I thought, because the 210, yeah, I could have gotten a decent player there, but the 309 at that point, like, you're just their hit rate's no different than an undrafted free agent in your league. So I mean, yeah, just those 3rd and 4th rounders this year are not as important as they have been, to me at least. And that's because I'm willing to pay up to go and move into the top 15 of this draft if I can. And that can be extended in certain drafts to maybe the 205, 206. Because here I wouldn't mind Trey Harris yet. He's still on the board. Higgins is not bad. I don't know that I'll own any of him, and Jack Besh. And all I'm saying is one of these second round receivers is probably going to hit. I have no idea which one. But, Matthew Golden got taken there at the 202 of this league. He also did in that Birdhouse league I just showed you. That one, Anthony Break Yourself, actually traded up to get that pick. Not traded up, but gave up his 26th first for that pick just to get the J Love and Golden stack. That was an interesting one. I'm sure we'll do a video upcoming soon on stacks and the importance of, and also the trap of stacks. Yes. Very good, solid information for stacks for you all coming up soon. Now, going back to this Lemmy's Dynasty League, let me quick show you my roster just so you know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to use, I think I'll use Dynasty Daddy for this one. Let me bring it up here. Be there in a second. So, any questions out there, feel free to just throw it there in the chat for me. Okay. All right, here we go. We've got my Lemmy's Dynasty League, and so here is the draft. Right now, again, Dart and Scattaboo, and now quickly Dynasty Daddy, and where I sit with this squad prior to getting the 203 and 204. So let me get rid of these ads here. Okay, so yeah, the AA Ron P Club. Yes, I ended up drafting Rodgers late in this one. This startup was let me think here. Oh man, I thought that it went to Lemmy's Dynasty. Okay. Guess not. There we go. Okay, so we do have the top value. Lake Slavic is very close. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 8,000, but that's really not that far off. Like, he was trying to, he threw me like 2 firsts, 2 seconds. George Pickens, J.K. Dobbins, who didn't end up getting anywhere. Like, just a bunch of things that totaled up to 22,000 in keep trade cut points, and Brock Bowers was who he wanted. Like, all of those assets just for Bowers, and I had to turn him down because I didn't want to. The positional advantage I have on him is literally one of the only things I truly have on him. I mean, receivers, he's crushing it, and he added Travis Hunter now. So he's looking good, but I mean, it's a long year, and I've got a couple of firsts in the bank here, a couple of seconds, so hopefully I don't have to use them. I mean, I've got okay depth, but now this is the one where I'm adding Dart and Scattaboo to, and so if Scattaboo hits, then I'm really looking good. But even if he doesn't, it's not that big of a deal, so that's why it was a good time to take Scattaboo. So you got to pick the right roster. There's certain rosters where I definitely would have taken Trey Harris. So all just comes down to roster construction. Here, I believe I have my 1 to 2 extra wide receivers already. I don't want any more, because that would be roster clogger city then, and that's where Tez Walker is. He's gone after the draft. Rashid Shaheed, I don't know. I can probably throw him into any deal, and I'd be fine with it at this point. I don't know. It really depends on some decent quarterback play down there in New Orleans. And so that's how I'm looking in the Lemmy's draft. Now, should I have tried to go up and get Omarion Hampton? Should I have tried to go up and get somebody just like Caleb Johnson? Well, the fact is I had the 203 and 210 picks, right? So let's go back to the draft board. Do this, go back here. So here's the draft board. I had the 203 and 210, and I tried offering it basically to everybody from Harvey on back, and nobody was taking it. So I think I stopped at the 111. I stopped doing that because I would have taken Dart at the 111. But that's all good. I ended up just getting him fall into my lap. So I'll take that again because of my roster. Now, if I was able to move up into that range, I would have wanted Harvey or Caleb Johnson. I don't know. Mix in how many carries does he have left, right? They drafted Woody Marks. I don't know if he is a full feature down, a 3 down feature back. So Damian Pierce would definitely get some work there. But yeah, I mean, Woody Marks, I know Ray G loves him, but he's a good receiver, not that fast, but does he have Kyron Williams in him? I guess. Kyron Williams seemed like more of an every down back though at Notre Dame, and so that's where I'm having trouble buying all the way into Woody Marks to take him in the second round, I guess is my point. Would I take him at the end of the third? Sure. Because at that point you're just throwing darts, so that's what my take is on Woody Marks at this point. Yeah. So back to this. Now, would I have taken Igbuka? No, not with this team. Now, if I was sitting again, so if I was sitting on the 201 and Igbuka is still available, I would have tried to trade out of it, or hell, I guess I would have still drafted him because I've got 4 months to play around with it. Why not be the strongest wide receiver team in the league and see what somebody's willing to offer? Somebody's going to come after those high-end wide receivers with a ridiculous offer, right? So, anyway, that's where I'm at with this squad. Last of all, we've got the original league that I got back into Dynasty with, and that is the Dynasty Land draft. And so let's go check that one out. I took third place in Dynasty Land last year. I think I went into the playoffs as the 3 seed. Maybe it was the 2 seed. Regardless, NLS 2K was the champ. He had a great team. Good job there, Mark, putting it together. And you're welcome for a couple of tips on that one. All right. Now, this one I did not have my first and second round picks. Now, I am calling this one with the Fantasy Reaper. And shout out to Brandon. He's doing a great job handling this draft. We gave him the last pick. He took Aronde Gadsden at the 7-10 for us. Good taxi squad stash, dart throw. We'll see if he catches on in camp. Maybe he'll end up getting cut. Who knows? But yeah, we'll have like room for, I think, 2 or 3 undrafted free agents on this squad. We didn't get back involved in the draft. This is a team where it's only a 12 team, only start 9. So we're already sitting on Henry, McCaffrey, 2 guys you can't get what they're worth in a deal. And then Bucky Irving and Rashad White and Chuba and Jonathan Brooks. So that's our running back room right now. There was nobody really to trade this offseason. Maybe Chuba, I guess, but not really. I mean, so yeah, that's where this team is at in the running back room. And then at wide receiver, decent. Used to be really stacked. I just guess I've hung on to these guys, and they've won a lot of games. CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, DK, and then we also have Ridley and one more. Why can't I think? We have, man, don't you hate that? You know your whole team so long. Khalil Shakir, that's it, and then Travis Kelce, of course. So just a bunch of guys that I got to ride into the ground. I mean, whatever. There's no reason to trade McCaffrey on a squad like this. Why? Yeah, okay, I'll take the 201. No. Just give me McCaffrey. I'll roll the dice that he does play enough. And the dude's got Hall of Fame talent. There's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of staying healthy, and he just hasn't done it. So, I don't know. McCaffrey, I think he needs another MVP-type season and lead the Niners to a Super Bowl. That's his last shot at actually making the Hall of Fame, I think. So that's really my thoughts on McCaffrey. Like, do everything you can to just hang on to him. This isn't really the time nor the place to sell him. That would be after week 1. If you know that your team is out of it and McCaffrey has a solid to decent showing in week 1 where he gets 20 points, boom. You could get back to, maybe adding something, but getting 2 firsts in a deal with McCaffrey. So that's my point. So let's look at this squad here. There I am on the far right. These are the picks I made. So why did I grab at the 311? Now, the reason, again, tonight's show is from a Contender's view, and I know out there, there's a bunch of you who were Contenders last year that don't have any picks really, right? So what are you doing in those drafts? Are you just sitting there doing nothing, or are you actually trying to acquire some of these guys? All right, like, should I have just tried trading DK to get the pick to draft Emeka Egbuka? I don't know. Like, I don't trust Ridley. I don't trust Shakir yet to start every week, but I'll throw DK in there every week. And I don't even have to do that because I have Chuba I could start again. So this is only a start 9 league, so you don't have to go that deep at flex. And if like one of them pops, I mean, I have no problem trading them to get an extra first, like way out in 27 or 28. I do have my 27 first, but I've already traded my 26 first. So like I was all in, and fortunately I had a contending roster without Christian McCaffrey services last year, and so now I've got him back, and that's why I didn't really end up making many moves with this team this offseason. But I think I took a couple of good dart throws. Aronde Gadsden at 311, then Brashard Smith here, who's going to compete for the Jerick McKinnon role in Kansas City, which I think he can get. I mean, he is a more talented back than Isaiah Pacheco. Like, him being taken in the 6th round of this draft is different than Pacheco getting taken in the 6th round, I believe, maybe 5th round of whatever draft that was a couple of years back. And so I'm just saying, Brashard Smith could have this whole backfield even. So I love him as a late round pick. Then tapped running back again in a good situation, Jarquez Hunter. All right, he gets to battle Blake Corum in camp to see who is Kyron Williams' backup there. And Kyron Williams, again, had an okay season last year, but when he goes down, dude, it's wheels up for whoever's the guy behind him. And so I think he's got a good shot to beat out Blake Corum. At least it's like 50-50 to me, talent-wise, honestly. And Hunter catches the ball better, I think. I know that Corum just didn't get that many pass attempts thrown his way at Michigan because they simply don't throw to their running backs, but still, I mean, Hunter showed that he was a good receiving back. I don't know that everybody can pull off the Kenneth Walker where they didn't get anything thrown to them in college, but yet they're actually good receivers. Now, part of that's the system there, and will continue there for Kenneth Walker, but that's an interesting backfield too. Like, have any of you taken any Damian Martinez? Man, I love that guy before the draft, and now it's like, but if you think about it, like, this is Kenneth Walker's last season, and then Zach Charbonnet. I mean, Damian Martinez is not that much worse than Zach Charbonnet. I think he could beat him out, honestly. Not a bet I've made yet. I think I do have him on one team. But that was a real deep league. So yeah, that is where I'm at. Now, the champ didn't add much either. I don't know where he was going with this. See, we only keep 18 guys in this league, and so that we have some decent vets in the pool. I don't know why we were doing that, but next year we're moving to just straight up dynasty where we keep everybody on the roster. But anyway, that's why Pat Freiermuth is there in the middle of the 3rd round, and the champ takes him. Which, trust me, I was more than happy to see, because In this league, there's no way I'd be even glancing at any tight ends in this draft. First of all, just because of my draft position, the 311 was my best pick. And then, why grab any tight ends? I already have Kelsey and Brenton Strange, right? I don't need another single body at tight end. Don't waste roster positions on tight ends, guys. You know, there are tons out there on waivers you can pick up on a weekly basis during the season that could potentially just score a touchdown for you and get you 10 points any game. So if you have a solid starter, just roll with that and one backup. You don't need more than that. Throw your darts on running backs, right? So he did not go much running back. He grabbed Shipley super late in the 5th, who's Saquon's backup. He owns Saquon. He grabbed Chimere Dike out of Waukesha North here, the Pride, North Star Pride there. Oh yeah, Chimere, he ran camp here in Waukesha North. My son went to. Awesome kid. I wish him well. And he's got a shot there in Tennessee. I mean, could be worse places, right? But Pop Douglas, I don't know if I like that. Pat Bryant, again, he'd have to prove me wrong. It's going to be tough for him to squeeze in there in Denver, but he could, right? I don't know. They took him in the 3rd round. Honestly, did not watch hardly any of him pre-draft, so I guess it'd be hard to judge. Now, Kyle Williams, on the other hand, I like that pick. For Contender, I'm not sure how many, let me see here. How many wide receivers did he keep? He kept Neighbors, Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, and Jefferson. That's who, yeah. So he's got Jefferson and Neighbors, but after that, it is shaky. No wonder why he is going after wide receivers so heavy. But I don't know if he can hit on any of these guys. Kyle Williams, though, he does have a shot. I'll give him that. Does have a shot in New England. So, yeah, that's a possibility. Ramzak Nation here. He's got a sweet lineup here as well. Now, he had a few nice picks. He added the 102 to his roster. He made the big trade early on in this draft where Fantasy Godzilla unloaded the 102 pick to jump back to the 110 and Josh Jacobs. So he gained Fantasy Godzilla, rebuilding, didn't have any running backs, but had picks 2, 5, 6, and 12. And so he jumped back with the 2 to load up in this back half of the 1st and add good solid veteran in Josh Jacobs. Who knows how healthy he'll stay this year, but if he can get anywhere near last season's health, that looks like a good solid season for Josh Jacobs to me. So anyway, back to the Ramzak team. He was the one that jumped up and went after Amari Hampton, which was interesting to me. But I get it. Trying to get younger. Jumping on the one really good season from Josh Jacobs. I mean, he's had other good seasons, don't get me wrong, but the touchdown total was pretty good. Then he also added Scattaboo and Tootin. I love that. And Jack Besh. So nice picks. I don't know that I'd take Besh that early, but, you know, he could have had Trey Harris. I guess I get it. That's the only pick I'd not sure about from him. Now he's got Daniels, Love, and Hurts, so he really didn't need Jalen Milroe. At running back, he's sitting on JT, Mixon, Cook. Got rid of Jacobs, but he adds Amari and Hampton. Then at receivers, he's got Harrison, Evans, McLaurin, Pittman, Juwan Jennings, and Garrett Wilson. So Wilson, Harrison. Yeah, I mean, and then Laporta and Njoku at tight end. You know, that there's a reason he made it to the championship game last year. So these are some solid picks. I mean, Shedeur Sanders at the 302. I don't love that, but it's a dart throw. Considering he wasn't picking again until the 312 here, I get it. And then some bigger dart throws near there at the end. Isaac Tesla, Devontae Wicks, and Dontavian Wicks, sorry, and Luke McCaffrey. So Hergot, member of the Birdhouse here, he had blown away his picks also, much like the Birdman here, and he just snagged a couple of running backs, Devin Neal and the aforementioned Damian Martinez there in the 5th, and Dante Thornton and Arian Smith, 2 late round wide receiver dart throws. Hergot in that league is fine at quarterback with Burrow and Murray. Then he's got Achan and Kamara, Najee, Brian Robinson, and running back. And then at receivers, yeah, there it is. Puka, Jamar Chase, and Amon-Ra, as well as Godwin and Tyreek Hill. And Stephon Diggs even, too. So really didn't need to draft a single wide receiver, but I get the couple dart throws at the end. Why not? And then Kittle and Mayer is fine at tight end. So those are the top 4 teams in that league. The only other teams I know for sure could be up there this year would be the 5th place guy there. Let's go, Brandon. He didn't have many picks either. He grabbed Tyler Shook there in the 2nd. Good pick. Jalen Noel, at the beginning of the 3rd. Jordan James, I like that pick. Trevor Etienne, not bad. I mean, Trevor, think about it. He's probably going to be the backup. I mean, he's more talented than Rico Dowdle. So, I mean, he probably can be the backup there. You got Harold Fannin. It's not like, think about it, it's not like Rico Dowdle knows the system in Carolina. It's his first year there, too, right? So, Harold Fannin, which, whatever, in the 4th round, like, he really dropped in this league. I passed on him. And I really liked the dude about a month and a half ago. So, yeah, he faded hard. So I don't hate that pick. And then Dylan Gabriel at the end of the 4th, sure, whatever. Michael Wilson, kind of a bum. But I get it in the 6th round, sure. So, as you can see, this is a league where it's become top-heavy as to which teams know they've got a chance to win it at the end of the year, and so they dump their 1st and 2nds into a scoring vet. And so these guys all know what it takes. And even the guys that are on the bottom in this league, there was a time where they were all at the top. These bottom 4 picks, 4 years ago, those guys were the top teams, and they went into rebuild, and now they're pretty much all on the verge of contending, except for the brand. That one is a little tougher of a rebuild, but he's working on it. 2027 for the brand. Yeah, he's got it. He's a friend of the Birdhouse. Brandon out there, you got this, buddy. All right. Shout out to the DeLorean. If he's watching, he got his boy, Colston Loveland, big Michigan fan. Yeah, that was a nice pick for him. I wouldn't have taken it, but I get it. Like, he could be Sam Laporta. Otherwise, he could be Dalton Kincaid. I don't know. He's somewhere in between there, in my opinion. Not what I'd want to grab at the 109, though. Not in only a half point premium league. You need it. It's got to be like 0.75 or full point. So, yeah. Then Luther Burden goes at the 109. I mean, if he doesn't need any running backs, I get it because he already grabbed Judkins. So he's sitting on. Let's see, James Conner, Aaron Jones, Montgomery, Pollard. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, Judkins into the mix there. That's tough decisions every week. That's the thing. He needs to kind of consolidate somehow. At receivers, he's got bodies, but nobody spectacular. I can see why he was probably disappointed that he couldn't move up and get a wide receiver. I think that would have been the move here because he's got enough starters at the other positions. Like, trying to get Hunter or Tet would have been nice. But I don't know. All in all, not a bad draft here for DeLorean. And he's got, of course, Penix and Mahomes along with Justin Fields there at quarterback. All right. So, yeah, that's how that draft has turned out and where we're at in the birdhouse as well as Lemmy's Dynasty. All three teams that I was contenders on with last year, and even without any draft picks, I'm still fine and in contention going into this year. I just need, I only have McCaffrey and Henry in one of those leagues to where I think an injury to both of those guys could be devastating. But the other teams I'm pretty fine with. And the only one birdhouse I could see myself flipping into a rebuild early, like I did in my Turtle League. But that basically, what I did was I had a lot of veterans, so I made sure that it was at least a couple of weeks into the season before I started unloading everybody. And yeah, I started out 0-4, and I had an injury or two, so like it wasn't just a bad 0-4, it was a bad 0-4. And so yeah, I just flipped the guys who had been scoring points right away and got into a good little rebuild. I don't know that I didn't flip it into a contender for this year, so there's going to be some work to be done in that league. That's a good, solid league with good, solid competition. So yeah, it's interesting being a contender without the ability or the resources really that makes sense to try and trade up into the first round. It makes you kind of sit back and observe the league, and makes you realize that any three of those teams with the wrong injuries could be a team that you start selling early, because in some cases it's better to sell early than never. All right, and or late, because you start selling late and then you're not able to get the good firsts are all gone. Then simple as that. So, all right. So if I don't have any other questions, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe. Check out my Patreon. It's $3 a month. Go in, you can see some of the old videos and check it out, get a feel for it, and then pay the $3. You get the rankings, not just the rookie rankings, all my dynasty rankings as well. You can check out the chat forums. We had a good one going during the NFL draft. We've got other topics that roll up in there once in a while. So it's just a good way that we get to know each other in the community, the birdhouse community. Yes. So, all right. If there isn't anything else, I just want to make sure you don't forget, never stop working.